All right, welcome back to another explainer. Today we are tackling AI workflows, bridging human habits to automated systems. We're going to demystify this whole concept by literally connecting it to the daily habits you already have. Let's get right into it.
So have you ever sat down at your desk ready to crush a big project and then you just lose 30 minutes figuring out what to actually do first? Like, what app do I open? Which notes do I need? Every single minute you spend just deciding how to start is a minute you're not working. It completely zaps your productivity before you've even done a single thing.
And look, there's a real scientific reason for this. It's called decision fatigue. Basically, it's that mental exhaustion you get from making hundreds of tiny, trivial choices all day long. By 3 p.m., your brain is totally fried, before the real important work even starts. It's exactly why we all end up reaching for that third cup of coffee. The most successful people out there aren't necessarily smarter. They've just removed the actual act of deciding from their day by building reliable systems.
Okay, so how do we build those systems? Well, it starts with a basic human routine, which really comes down to just three things. First, a trigger. That's a time, a place, or an action that kicks things off. Second, a short, fixed sequence, meaning the exact same steps in the exact same order every single time. And third, a clear endpoint, so you know without a doubt that you're done. A routine isn't the work itself, right? It's a system that protects your work from getting skipped because it totally removes the mental hurdle of starting.
Now here is where it gets super fascinating. We can take that exact same human logic and map it directly onto artificial intelligence. We're moving way past basic AI usage now, and we can break it down into 3 levels. Level 1 is basic chatbot usage. That's you doing all the heavy lifting. Level 2 is AI workflows. These are automated paths designed in advance by, well, you. And level 3 is AI agents, where the AI actually decides its own path. For this explainer, we are zeroing in on mastering level 2 workflows.
To really see the value here, let's look at level 1 versus level 2. The source material calls level 1 the copy-paste grind. You generate some text, copy it, open your email, paste it. The AI did the thinking, sure, but you did all the manual moving around. With a level 2 workflow, you design the automated sequence just once, and the system does all that moving for you. You lay down the tracks, and the train just runs on its own.
Okay, get ready for a light bulb moment. An AI workflow shares the exact same 3 components as your morning routine. Number 1, a trigger. Number 2, a sequence of steps. And number 3, an output. It's the exact same logic. You take a goal, break it into fixed steps, and let an automated system handle it. Seriously, if you can build a good morning routine for yourself, you literally already have the foundational skills to design an AI workflow. Let's dig into that first step. Every workflow absolutely has to have a trigger to kick things off automatically. These usually fall into 3 camps. You've got event-based triggers, like a new email hitting your inbox. Then you have scheduled triggers, like, say, running a news summary every morning at exactly 7 a.m. Or they can be manual, like you clicking a specific button to launch the whole sequence. Basically, something just has to spark that chain reaction.
Once it's triggered, we drop into the middle sequence. And honestly, this is where the magic happens. A workflow sequence is made up of 2 types of steps. First, mechanical steps. These are your basic, predictable actions, moving data from A to B, or maybe formatting a date. But then you have cognitive steps. This is where we call an LLM, a large language model, to do the actual thinking work. We're talking about having the AI summarize a document, classify an angry customer email, or draft a completely custom reply.
Let's make this real with a concrete example. Imagine a teacher whose inbox is just overflowing with the same routine parent questions. Here's how an AI workflow tackles that automatically. The trigger, a new incoming email. Step 1 is mechanical. The system simply pulls the email subject and body. But then, we jump into the cognitive stuff. Step 2 is cognitive. The AI actively reads and classifies the email. Is it a routine question, or does it need a personal touch? Step 3, also cognitive. The AI drafts a bespoke reply using a custom knowledge base. And Step 4, checks the tone to make sure it's warm and professional. You've completely separated the boring, tedious data pulling from the AI's incredible ability to read, classify, and write.
And just like our human routines, every workflow has to have a clear, useful endpoint. The work needs to actually land somewhere so you aren't stuck compiling data manually. Really common outputs are things like creating a new row in a Google Sheet, sending a Slack message, saving a file to Google Drive, or, like in our teacher example, dropping a draft email right into your inbox. This output stage is super smart because it keeps you, the human, perfectly in the loop for a final review before anything actually gets sent.
Now here's a challenge for you. Take a hard look at your own daily tasks.
Because honestly, not everything should be automated. Good workflow candidates are tasks that are highly repetitive, high volume, and have really clear inputs and outputs. Consistency is absolutely crucial here. On the flip side, bad candidates are those one-off tasks, weird edge cases, or anything that requires genuine human empathy and judgment. Workflows are amazing when the rule is decide based on these parameters, but they totally fail when you have to figure out what to do entirely from scratch.
Let's do a quick rapid-fire test using some examples from the source material. Generating a weekly summary of class announcements? Yes, absolutely. It's repetitive, scheduled, and the output is super clear. What about renaming and organizing 500 photos by date and location? Yes, that is literally perfect for a mechanical workflow. But writing a personalized funeral eulogy? Yeah, definitely no. That's a deeply personal task needing real human empathy. Unless you want a remarkably awkward memorial service, you really have to pick the right battles for automation.
So, you're probably wondering, how do you actually build these things? Well, the best part is, you do not need to be a programmer. There are entire teams out there right now using visual, no-code platforms to build these systems just by dragging boxes and connecting lines on a screen. Tools like Zapier, Make, N8N, and Power Automate are leading the charge here. Even apps you probably already use, like Notion and Slack, are building these automated nodes right into their platforms. Honestly, designing an AI workflow is fast becoming as standard as knowing how to use a spreadsheet.
And this highlights a massive career advantage. An individual just using ChatGPT, that's linear impact. It's one person typing one prompt at a time. But a workflow builder, that is exponential scale. By designing these automated systems, you can literally have hundreds of AI processes running in parallel, knocking out work in the background while you sleep. You're completely decoupling your time from your output. It's a total game changer.
Which brings us to our final takeaway. The source material hits the nail on the head here. This changes what AI literacy means. Today, it's increasingly, can you design a system that uses AI? We really need to stop just writing single prompts. Start paying attention to where you're wasting mental effort and replace that grind with a system. If you treat your tasks like a well-designed workflow, you will quietly outwork everyone else over the next 5 years. So my question to you is, what task are you going to automate first? Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and I'll catch you in the next one.